Chapter 9. The Dawn of Connection. Jake and Emily stepped onto the shimmering bridge, feeling a surge of warmth envelop them both. The bridge pulsed with an almost blinding yet somehow gentle light, guiding them forward as they faced an ornate doorway looming mere feet ahead. A beautiful, intricate design was etched into the wood, radiating with energy. Each swirl, each pattern, seemed to pulse with their shared emotions, both good and bad. "This is it," Emily whispered, her voice steady. "Whatever lies beyond this door, we face it together." "Together," Jake nodded, squeezing her hand tightly. They could feel their fears still swirling in the air behind them, but the bond they had forged now shimmered brighter than any shadow. With resolve, they approached the door, feeling the weight of their shared experiences pressing at their backs. They reached for the ornate handle, and as they turned it, a gust of wind washed over them, signaling the doorway's wisdom. The door creaked open slowly, revealing a radiant expanse of golden light. Within, a vast landscape unfolded, filled with rolling hills and vibrant meadows, and dotted with flowers they recognized from their fondest memories. In the distance, a kaleidoscope of colors was painted on the horizon, a breathtaking sunset capturing the end of one journey and the beginning of another. As they stepped through, the brightness enveloped them, illuminating their faces and pushing away the shadows that had haunted them. They stood at the threshold of a new reality, one where their pasts were no longer chains but stepping stones toward understanding. "Is this?" Jake began, breathless with the view. "Yes," Emily said, awe filling her voice. "I think it is. Mirrors of our memories." But, changed, before them, silhouettes began to fully materialize, taking form of familiar faces from their pasts, but transformed. Friends who had drifted away, family members who had lost touch, even those who had passed on. Each stood with open arms and smiles that conveyed forgiveness and love. The air thrummed with enthusiasm, and a sense of belonging wrapped around them like a warm embrace. "Emily! Jake!" A voice rang out, and with a flash of light they were transported to a familiar playground. They turned to see Jake's father approaching, his face radiant with love and understanding. "We've been waiting for you both." "Dad!" Jake exclaimed, his voice cracking. He hadn't realized how much he'd longed for this moment, a reunion that erased his earlier regrets and filled his heart with the warmth of acceptance. He hadn't seen his father in years. And just as a newfound joy bubbled within Jake, Emily found herself embraced by past friends. Those who had once felt distant were now bridging gaps in their connections like blooming flowers reaching for sunlight. Their hearts swelled as the shadows dissipated behind them like vapor, fading into nothingness. The realizations they had faced, the doubts, the past pains, were now stark reminders of their strength rather than imprisonments. As the sun dipped down toward the horizon, painting the skies with rich hues of orange and purple once again, Jake and Emily turned to one another. The ethereal glow illuminated their faces, and in that moment, they saw reflections of hope and strength. "We did it, Em," he said, his voice laced with disbelief and joy. "We faced everything that held us back." Emily smiled, her heart brimming with gratitude. "Because we chose to confront our darkness together. I wouldn't have been able to do this without you." With newfound purpose coursing through their veins, they turned back toward the gathering of friends and family. The once distant connections they had feared or regretted losing were now rekindled, forming bonds stronger than they had ever imagined. "Let's start over," Jake announced, a smile breaking free as he stood taller, the weight of regret lifting. "Let's build new paths from the connections we've made, not just here, but everywhere." A chorus of laughter and agreement filled the air as he and Emily joined hands and ventured further into the horizon. Step by step, they all moved through the landscape of renewal, sowing seeds of connection as they walked, cherishing the relationships they have managed to revive. As they disappeared into the golden sunset, the last remnants of their past fell away, leaving behind only the strength of their unity, the wisdom of their journey, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. The end.